Okay. Since today's class, good afternoon one and all. Okay. In today's class, we are going to discuss about the network layer. Okay. Network layer and the congestion control. Before going for the network layer, first we need to discuss about that. What are the different concerns of the data link layer? Okay. In the previous class, we discussed about the different layers like the physical layer we studied. We discussed about the data link layer. Okay. And we discussed about the network layer also briefly that one. Okay, the main concerns of the network layer is to handle the congestion control, already we discussed in the previous class. Okay, but before going for the network layer, what we are going to do now, we are going to discuss about little bit about the okay, little bit about the data link layer design issues. Okay, the data link layer design issues. Okay, first thing is that providing the well defined service interface to the network layer. Okay, what we discussed that when the data link layer and the network layer. Data link layer will be the second layer of the OSI model, and the network layer will be the third layer of the OSI model. Okay, the data link layer and the network layer should have the good interface, because the services provided by the data link layer should be shared with the network layer there. Am I correct? Due to that reason, the data link layer is going to provide the good interface to the network layer. The question comes in your mind that what kind of the services the data link layer is going to be provided. First thing, the whatever. Okay, first thing, data link layer is going to provide the interface to the network layer. Why we require the interface here? Assume like this one, I am having one source, or you can say one client is there, and then one more side the we are having the server or the destination is there. Okay, in the client side, okay, network layer sends some data, okay, bits of data to the data link layer. The data link layer responsibility is to collect all the bits, all the data from the network layer, make it frame and send to the data link layer at the destination side. Very good. From the destination side, this data link layer no is going to be converted into the frame and going to send to the to the network layer. This is the first thing. To do this one, what techniques we are going to do that one. Okay, initially network layer needs to take the some bits from the data link layer, collect it that one, make it frame and send that one. This is the first one. Second thing, dealing with the transmission errors, very important here. Okay, the data link layer is going to be deal with the transmission error. Okay, what kind of the transmission error it is going to do? Okay friends, to deal with this one now, okay, data link layer is going to be deal with the physical layer also. Physical layer, what it will do that one, it will take the all the bits. Okay, physical layer is only responsible to transfer the bits of the data from source to the destination. Okay, the moment when when the data link layer sends the bits to the physical layer, when sends the bits to the data link layer, that time physical layer is not at all responsible of the faulty transmission. Okay, if it receives that one the different bits, like if the data if the physical layer sends the 0 here, sometimes the at the destination side, instead of receiving 0, it can be received the 1. These all errors the physical layer is not at all responsible. Due to that reason, this concern we given to the data link layer, means that when it receives the data bits of streams of data, or the bits from the bits from the physical layer, the data link layer is going to make the frame, and it is responsible for the transmission errors, to handle the transmission errors. Okay, that also we discussed. And the third important thing here is that regulating the flow of data so that the receiver cannot be flooded. Very important friends. Okay, already I said this one, the fast senders are there, slow receivers are there. When the slow receivers are identified in the network node, that time the sender should reduce the transmission speed, or the reduce the load on the destination, reduce the load on the receiver. Otherwise what happens, packets will be get lost. That one, this why I am discussing this one now. All these concerns are related to the data link layer. Okay, now today what we are going to do here, okay, we are going to discuss about the network layer concern. Okay, the heading itself telling network layer and the congestion control. Okay, I am giving one hint here, network layer is responsible for the congestion control. Okay, before going for this one, friends, what exactly the network layer works, that one, how that network layer is going to be work here. Okay, what are the different concerns of the network layer? Already we studied that one, friends. The network layer main intention is to send the packets from one router to the another router, or the routing the packets from one source to the another destination. While routing this one, the network layer need to identify the paths from source to the destination. Okay, due to this reason, we studied about the two important things. One will be the connection oriented, and the one more will be the connectionless services also. Okay, when you are talking about the connection oriented networks, okay, already each router, please try to get concentration here. Each router is going to have the routing table. In that routing table, we are going to fix the exactly, we are going to fix the paths here from router A to router B, router C to router D, D to E. Once you fix this one, no, okay, there will be the no chance of the error. Okay, before injecting packets into the subnet or the network, we are going to calculate the capacity of the network. We are going to calculate the capacity of the router. Based on that only, we are going to inject the packets inside the network or the subnet, that one. This will be the main one thing. And the second thing here is that, okay, there will be the chances when the congestion occurred in the network. Okay, once the packets are getting loose or the lost in the network, that time network layer is going to identify. Okay, so you may ask one question, that sir, already we said that we are going to calculate the capacity of the network, we calculate the paths also, everything we defined earlier before injecting the packet, the how that congestion can be occurred. Okay, there will be the chances. Okay, assume like this one, the four sources are there, four intermediate routers are there, all these routers now at a time inject the packets to the particular router. That time there will be the bottleneck. Okay, it's all the packets come and stand in a one router only. Once the packets come and stand in the particular router, my friends, the single router cannot be handled with the topic, that one. There will be the chances of congestion. Means, okay, we're going to discuss that one, what is meant by congestion and all. Just to remember, once the congestion is occurred, network layer is going to play some role. Okay, play some role to reduce the congestion, that one, right? This is about the network layer. Now we are going to discuss about the I hope I cleared that one, right? Now we are going to discuss about the what are the general principles of the congestion control. Before moving for the principles here, first we need to discuss about the what is meant by congestion now. Okay, congestion in the sense, friends, okay, one second. Okay, what is meant by the congestion now? Okay, anyone can? Anyone? What is meant by congestion? Please explain. What is meant by congestion? Please explain, anyone? Okay, please concentrate now. Okay, first I will give one analogy here. We are having one network. Okay, this network is itself having the 4 to 5 routers are there. Say that routers will be A, B, C, D, and the E. Okay, when too many packets are in present in the subnet. Okay, I will underline the word here. When too many or the more packets are present in a subnet or the network, that time what happen, performance is going to be degrades. Okay, when the performance is going to be degrades, no, or reduces the performance, no, that time we are going to call it as a congestion only. Okay, now you may ask one question, that if the network is, our subnet is having the capacity to deal with all the packets or so many packets here, that time performance not at all going to be degrade. If the performance not degrade, no friends, I am not going to call this one as the congestion, or you can say this one, the one more definition I given here. Okay, whenever a state occurring in a network layer, when the message topic is so heavy or the more, that slow down the network response time. Okay, means that I'm having the capacity of per second, only the subnet is able to transmit the packets 100 packets only per second. Assume like this one. Okay, if in the subnet at a time 300 packets came, that one, that time the network cannot be stable, it will be the unstable only. Means that the network not able to perform that one. That time what happen, packets are going to be loose. Okay, packets are going to be lost, that one. this situation is going to be called as a congestion. That one, okay, what they are telling, when too many packets are present in a network or the subnet, that time performance degrades. This situation is going to be called as a congestion only, right? Now once the congestion occurred, what it will be, what are the effects of this congestion? First thing, as delay increases, performance decreases 100%. Okay, whenever friends, okay, whenever we are going to send the packets from source to the destination, each packet is going to have the timeout is there. Okay, means that this packet number one should reach to the packet number one should reach to the destination within this time to leave. We are going to discuss about this one in a IPv4 and the IPv6 chapters also. Okay, means that within 10 microseconds you should be reach that one. Okay, during that time only we are going to be add that one, right? Once again, students are requesting. I said so many times you join at the right time only. Okay, we discussed about the what are the effects of the congestion. Okay, means please concentrate now. Okay, one router is having the capacity to send the per second 100 packets only. Okay, due to some causes, we are going to discuss that one. Okay, due to some causes, so many packets come and arrived in a particular router. That time what happens, the router is going to tell that I am not at all able to transfer this. Once it is happened, okay, 100% there will be delay increases, because the first 10 packets can be 100 packets can be transmitted within the 1 second. But what we did that one, we given the 300, means 3 times greater than the capacity. If you given that one, packets are not going to be delivered at the right time. Okay, there will be chances of the delay only. Once the delay get increases, 100% performance is going to be decreased. Okay, always keep in your mind, this will be the directly indirectly proportional. Once a delay increases, performance get decreases. Once the delay decreases, performance is going to be increase here. Due to that reason, always we need to keep the network away from the congestion. That one, this will be the first effect. Second, what they are telling, if the delay increases 100%, there will be the retransmission occurs. How the retransmission occurs? Assume packet number 100, sorry, assume next one packet number 10 is there. Okay, we send this one from router 1 to the router 3. Okay, I given this packet number 10 for the 3 seconds to reach, you should reach to the router number 3 within this time period. Okay, due to this delay, due to this low performance, their packet is going to be waited. After 3 seconds, packet will get die or it get discarded from the router. Once it is discarded, now the receiver side is going to be intimate to the source that I haven't received your packet number 3 or packet number 10. Could you please retransmit that one? Once you increase the retransmission, again what happens? Already router will be in a congested. Already router is having the more load on that. One more time the same packet need to send that one. Again what happens? Performance is going to be decreased only, because again the router is going to be affected with the more congestion. Yes or no? Yes or no? What the situation, friends? Already the router number 3 or the 2, it's not cannot be able to handle the 100 packets. Okay, due to delay, some packets are going to be lost. Assume 10 packets are going to be lost, that one, because of the delay. The server what it tell that one, sorry, receiver what it will tell to the sender, I have not received this 10 packets. During this reason, okay, source side router should retransmit this 10 packets. To retransmit this one, again router is going to be get trouble more. Already it cannot handle the more than 100 packets. Again it need to be handle the, yes, exactly, plus 10 number of the packets. Due to this reason, what happens, friends, there will be the congestion. There will be the congestion going to be worst more that one. Okay, again the network layer is need to identify this one, all these things. Okay, when this situation occur, no, how that network layer is going to be respond, or how the network layer is going to take the action on this kind of the congestion, that all things you are going to be discussed in the coming chapters, right? Sorry, the coming section, that one. Now We are going to talk about this one. Afterwards, no friend, you may ask question, sir, how that congestion occurs? How the congestion occurs in the network. Okay, already we studied this one. We are going to set the path, we are routed the routing tables, we fixed that one. Okay, we simulated the network also, each network, the each router capacity already I have calculated. Okay, means that whenever you are going to be infrastructure the network in the cloud or anywhere, no friends, before, means that without simulation we never going to be architect the any network, that networks, that one. Okay, due to that reason we done everything, but there will be chances are there. Okay, there will be chances. Okay, wherever the 100% accuracy is there, no. Okay, there will be the 2% or the 3%, sometimes the worst network, the 10% there will be the failure is there. Yes sir, you might be seeing that when the so many examples are there. Okay, I'm having the 100% trust on this particular person. Okay, forever, but thing here is that sometime, no, that person cannot be play that role. Okay, like this in the network also these situations will occur. Okay, I given the so many examples like this in your class also. Okay, now I will tell this one how this will be occur. Okay, again try to get the picture. Okay, we are having the one network, or you can say one subnet is there. This subnet is going to have the intermediate routers. Okay, one A will be the source, one side the destination will be B, intermediate we are having the routers. Okay, router 1, R1, R2, R3 and the R4, each router is connected with each other from source to the destination. Now we know this one, each router is going to have the buffer space, each router is going to have the processors. Okay, some routing algorithms, everything will be there in a router. How we provided this one, all this we provided with the protocols along with some softwares also stored inside the routers. That okay, sometimes what happens friends, okay, we are having the so many connected networks are there to the particular router. Sometimes all sudden streams of packets are arriving on there, or you can say four input lines and then needs the same output line here. Okay, what they are telling, all the intermediate routers are there, no friends, at a time they will spend or the send all the packets to the output line. We are having only output line here. For the output layer router, this will be the burden. Okay, output router, what it thought that one before infrastructure. Okay, each router is going to be sent at a time 100 packets only. Okay, second router is able to send the 100 packets only. Okay, third will be similarly 100. But here what happens, at a time all routers at a time send the 400 packets to single router to the output line. The output line is get congested here. Yes or no? Yes, once it will happen, no, there will be the congestion. There will what happens, congestion in the sense that in that particular router, output line router, queue is going to be developed. Queue is going to be increased because 100 packets comes, 200 packets, 300 packets, 400 packets. Yes or no? All 400 packets will be at the one router. Why it happens there? Because the router process are not able to handle this one. Okay, due to some reason, due to some noise, due to some problem, these routers, sorry, these process are not able to perform well. Okay, means slow processors. Okay, due to that slow processors, what happens, the queue is going to be build up. That once queue get developed, my friends, there will be the insufficient of memory space at the router. As I said earlier, okay, each router is going to be equipped with the memory space, or you can say this one the buffer space also. Once the buffer space is exhausted or completed, there will be the chances of packet lost. Once the packet lost is started, what happens? Performance starts degrades. Once the performance degrades, I'm going to quote it that this is going to be called as a congestion in the network. It means that the one cause will be the slow processors in the network. Second thing, suddenly the streams of packets in the subnet. Okay, we cannot guess this one. At a time we are having the multiple lines are there, multiple networks are there. Subnet networks, no, all packets comes to the particular area. The particular routers cannot be handled. Once it is not handled, no, routers are starting discarding the packets. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not able to handle this number of the packet discarded. The discarded, the retransmission occurs. Once the retransmission occurs, again performance get degrades. Okay, the performance degrades, there will be the congestion. I hope I cleared. Please reply in the message box, everyone. No. Reply. Very good. No. Afterwards, friends, okay, again we are going to discuss about the little bit more specifically what exactly the causation here, okay. Just you note down everyone this particular definition, okay. What is exactly the causation control, okay. Sorry, causation. Causation, please note down, causation results when too much topic is offered, okay. Performance degrades due to this. There will be the loss of packets or the retransmissions, okay. Just I will repeat again. Causation results when too much topic is offered, means that when the too much topic is offered by the network or the subnet, there will be the perform okay performance degrades due to loss or retransmissions. Loss or the retransmission. This particular definition is going to be called as a causation only, okay. Just concentrate here, okay. I am having one graph here, okay. You can easily get understand, okay, how this will be works, okay. The graph is against the good output packets per second, and we are going to offer the load per second, okay. This the graph is versus the packets output per second and offered load on the network per second, okay. Now here what happens, initially I offered the only, assume like this one, the 10% of the load. When I submitted, no, there will be the 60% or the 100% of packet delivery is there. This much is there, I achieved that many number of packets are delivered, means that directly proportional, okay. I increased. Here what happened, this is my network capacity. Here I shown here the network capacity is how much, here only this much is the network capacity. Until and unless this I am able to perform very good, means that whatever up to this much, no, I performed very well, means that ideally I am able to transfer all the packets. I am in the sense subnet is able to transfer the 100% packet delivery to the destination. Now the moment when exceed the capacity, here exceed the capacity, okay, if you increase the load here, the packets gets down, okay. The delivery of the packets are coming down. Once it is coming down, packets are losing here, down. Here I mentioned here congestion collapsed, means that congestion occurred, means that all more than capacity is there, these packets are going to be lost here. Once it is lost, no friends, performance is going to be reduced, okay. Here one more term I introduced here, means I shown here, ideally if the capacity and the load, if it is equal, no, this will be the ideal desirable response, means that my capacity is 100 packets, you provided 100 packets, well and good, I'm very happy to send this packet from source to the destination, okay. If I'm having the capacity 100, if you given the 200, I can try maximum with my capacity. Afterwards I'm very sorry, the network is going to be reply like this, okay. This is about the congestion control graph here, okay. Sometimes in examination also they are going to be asked that one, explain the congestion control, okay. What are the factors of the congestion control, okay, explain with the diagram, and the what are the causes of the congestion control, okay. Otherwise they can ask this one, the what are the responsibility of the network layer with respect to the sorry, congestion control, okay. If this is there, no friends, we need to explain that one till 3 slides, okay. Now we come to the point that one, what are the general principles of congestion control, okay. Principle in the sense that once a congestion is occurred, Once a congestion is occurred, how the network layer is going to be handle this, how the network layer is going to be monitor this one. This is going to be called as a principles here. Okay, first one, what we are going to do, friend, before going for this one, we are going to have the two types of solutions are there. One will be the sorry, open loop solutions, and one more will be the closed loop solutions. Open loop solutions for the connection oriented, please try to concentrate and remember this one. Open loop solutions is only for the connection oriented networks. Closed loop solution is for the connectionless services. Okay, but here we are going to concentrate on the connectionless networks only. Okay, for the datagram networks only, keep in your mind. Okay, for this reason, connection, first we are going to discuss about the closed loop and the open loop. For getting my point, we are going to have the two types of solutions. One will be the open loop solution, one more will be the closed loop solution. Okay, I am giving one hint, that one open loop solutions is only for the connection oriented, and the closed loop will be for the connectionless services or the connectionless networks. Now, what are open loop solutions are mainly used to solve the problems of good design. 100%. Okay, this particularly what we are going to do, that one I said this one, the connection oriented node, before designing that one only we are going to check this one. Okay, how much it can be handle the load. Okay, in the first place only, before introducing the packet, that one everything we are going to calculate. What is the capacity of the processor here? Okay, how much buffer space is required? Okay, how much the router can handle the load there. Okay, everything is going to be pre-finalized. We test that one, then only we are going to be inject the packets inside the network. But one thing here is that, friend, once the system is start running, once the system is on, that time no mid-core corrections are not allowed in a open loop solutions. Keep in your mind. Okay, in open loop, no, once the connection is started, once the network started running, okay, mid-core corrections are not at all possible in a open loop. Now, how we are going to handle this open loop control here? Okay, here also, friends, we are going to have some criteria are there. First it will be open loop control include the, it decide that when to accept the new traffic. Okay, deciding when to discard the packets and the which one packets are going to discard, and making the scheduling decisions also at various points in the network. Okay, means that, friends, okay, once you decided, okay, you plan to inject the 100 packets, everything, there will be chances of the errors or the congestion. There will be chances of the, what you can say, this one, the noise also. Once the noise occurs, now already I trained my network that when you need to start deleting the or discarding the packets, that's very important. Okay, second thing, which packets you are going to be discard that one, because in a network few packets are very important packets are there. Okay, we are going to tell this one. Once the congestion is occurred, once you are not able to bear the load, okay, connection oriented network should handle this one. Okay, which packets are going to be discard, when to discard this packets, all, and you are going to have some scheduling decisions also at the various points in the network. Okay, these all things now going to be handled in a open loop network. Keep in your mind. Okay, it will be in a open loop solution. But here what happens, we're going to concentrate more on the closed loop solution also. Closed loop solutions. Okay, closed loop solutions means connectionless networks. Okay, very good. Connectionless networks, what happens? Okay, three important things are there. First one, monitor the system to detect when and where congestion occurred. Very important. Okay, just first I will read out these 3 points, then we are going to have a discussion on the individual point here. Okay, first one, monitor the system, okay, when and where the congestion occurred, when and where the congestion is going to be occur. First thing. Second thing, give me a second. Second thing, pass the information to where action can be taken. And the third one, adjust the system operation to correct the problem. Now, factors already we came to know. Okay, once we came to know these factors, afterwards need to detect that one. Okay, Assume like this one, the 100 rotors are scattered in the big network. Where exactly the congestion is occurred. How we are going to identify this one? How we are going to detect this one? Okay. For this reason, my friends, I am going to give some important points here. Okay, just to, if possible, you note down parallelly. First thing, important things will be, one will be the buffer space. Okay. Second thing will be the timeout of the packet. Third will be the retransmitted packets. Fourth will be the average packet delay. Average packet delay. Okay. First one buffer space. First one will be the buffer space. What the buffer space required here? Give me some. Okay. Buffer space. Now, what we are going to do, some important points are there. Okay. First one will be buffer space. Second one, transmission D buffer space. Second one, average queue length. Please note down average queue length. Average queue length. Third one, timeout packet. Fourth one, retransmission packets. Fifth one, packet delay. Now, how we are going to identify here, friends? Okay, the variety of metrics here we are going to be monitor the subnet for the congestion. Okay, among this one, what I am telling you, please concentrate. First, you take the percentage of all discarded packets, the packets from lack of the buffer space. Okay, as I said earlier, first one, you find out this one for the particular, for all the routers. No, you check this one, the how many packets are discarded with respect to the particular router only due to the reason of lack of buffer space. Router 2, you find it that how many packets are discarded because of lack of buffer space. Third one, you find out and to identify the, calculate the average number of packet lost because of lack of buffer space. 1 2 3 4. Then you come to know this one where you will get the more average. No, okay, more average rate. You can easily identify this one. This particular router is having some congestion. It's this particular subnet is having the congestion there. First thing. Second thing, average queue length. Okay, as I said earlier, friends, each packet is going to have the time to live. Okay, particular time only. If you the more than 100 or the 200 packets are in a queue in a particular buffer in at the particular place at the router, there will be the queue length will be more. Where the queue length will be more, no, identify the average of the queue length. Identify with all the routers which router is going to have the more queue length. No, there will be the congestion. Identify. Okay, similarly timeout packets with respect to the particular routers, router 1 2 3 4 5 6, whatever number of routers are. Identify this one, set one formula, execute at the particular routers. Okay, this can be easily possible because of the protocols means it the particular program only, right? Once you return on program, no, you are going to identify. Okay, buffer space is 100 packets. Okay, if it is exceeding the capacity of the buffer, if it is exceeding, no, count the number of packets. Okay, find out the average and display the router name easily. Third thing, fourth thing, what they are telling, retransmission 100%. The retransmission is more, there will be the loss of packets will be more. Once the lost packets will be more, retransmission will be more, directly proportional. Yes or no? Identify again, find out the average of this. Once you find out this average length, now friends, for all these criterias, wherever will get the rising numbers, no, this is going to be indicate the growing congestion. Keep in your mind. Okay, these all rising numbers are going to be create the growing congestion only. Now you come to know that particular place we got the congestion. Yes sir, wherever you will get this rising numbers, no, that place is going to have the congestion. Once you get the congestion, now what we need to do, this particular, assume this one the router number 50, I got the congestion. Okay, already I got this one. I need to pass that information to the point where it can be handled, where it can be handled or corrected. 100% everywhere we are going to have some correcting points are there in the network. Some problems occur, no, immediately it will send this one. Okay, how it is going to be sent, friends? Okay, router number 50 is announcing the problem. Okay, once announced, how it is going to be announced? It will send one packet only, packet sent to the point where it can be handled. Okay, but one more thing here is that already in the network is going to have the more load only. Again one more load will be on the network because of sending this packet, but it can be sent. Once the receiving point take this message, okay, it will identify because of the queue length this problem, because of the delay this problem, because of the retransmission this problem, because of this one this problem, immediately it will send some message to the source routers. Very interesting that one. Okay, this particular router is problem is there, this router you just to handle this. Okay, this will be the pass the information where the action can be taken. Okay, now third thing very important, adjust the system operation to correct the problem. How we are going to adjust? Only one thing, slow down the senders. Which routers is going to be fast, send the routers fast now till I handle. Please you reduce your speed of sending the packets only. Okay, once you send this one now, packets sending packets will be reduced for the moment. Okay, again it will be recovered and it will be sent. Okay, if any other errors are there, no, okay, the network is going to be, sorry, network point is going to be take the decision about that what it can be do that one. All these criteria, you know, already we given in a particular protocol only. As per that one, it is going to be handled. This is all about the general principles of congestion control. Just I will revise again, friends. We are having the three important principles are there. First one, monitor the system to detect when and where the congestion occurred. How we are identified this one? The number of packets are discarded because of the lack of buffer space. Find out the average packets discarded, average queue length we are going to be identified, average timeout packet we are going to be identified, retransmission packets we are going to be calculated, and the packet delayed number of delayed packets also we are going to be calculated. Okay, make them average. Okay, wherever it is going to be increased the number, no, that will be the rising numbers will be indicate the growing the congestion. First thing. Second thing, once the congestion is occurred in the particular area, this information should be sent through the packet to the where it can be handled or where the action can be taken. This can be done by the routers only. Third thing, once the congestion is occurred, already I have sent message to the network point there, point it can handle the congestion. From there, no, it will send some message to the particular source or the senders, slow down your sending information, otherwise whatever it required, no, it will handle that one. Okay, now this is about the general principles. Afterwards, no, friends, we are going to discuss about the congestion prevention policies, right? Now concentrate, we are having the three important layers are there. One will be the data link layer, one more will be the network layer, and third one will be the transport layer. Okay, with respect to each layers, no, we are having some policies are there. Okay, policies will, data link layer is going to have the retransmission policies, out of order caching policy, acknowledgement policy, flow control policy. Already we discussed this one, what is the transmission policy and what will be the acknowledgement policy and the flow control policy also, right? Similarly, we are having the network layer also. Okay, packet lifetime management, routing algorithms we are having, packet discard policy we are having. Okay, packet queuing and the service policy also we are having. Okay, and third important thing will be virtual circuit versus the datagram inside the subnet policy also there. Okay, these all things we are going to be discussed now. Now retransmission policy with respect to the transport layer, out of order caching policy, acknowledgement policy, flow control policy, as well as the timeout determination also means we given some congestion prevention policies to the particular layers only. With respect to the network layer, no friends, first we are going to talk about the data link layer. Okay, that this data link layer retransmission policy is concerned with how the sender times out and what it transmit the upon the timeout. Simple that one. So when the sender sends the packets very quickly and all transmit the outstanding packets using go back, and also means we given this one friends. Okay, just try to get, don't get confused here. Things here that once the packet get lost, once the congestion is occurred in the network, few packets are going to be lost. Okay, to prevent this one, what we did this one, we designed the retransmission. Okay, lost packets I am going to be send it again. Okay, second thing what I did this one, acknowledgement only. Acknowledgement in the sense that okay, once the particular packet I have sent, no, the receiver should tell this one the packet number 10 I have received successfully, no need to send it. Okay, if the receiver not received the packet number 10, it will tell to the source that packet number 10 I haven't received, could you please send this one. No problem. Flow control policy already we know. When the sender is sending the so many packets, receiver is getting flooded with the maximum number of packets. That time receiver tell to the sender that could you please slow down your sending packets, otherwise I am not able to process this one. Yes or no? Similar way, network layer also. Okay, virtual circuit and the data lake, the datagrams that we are going to discuss friends. Okay, packet queuing and the service policy, important only, very important. Okay, packet queuing will be, as the packets will be more at the particular router, the queue length is going to be increased. Once it is reached, no friends, it will tell to the particular packet, sorry, particular router, okay, I am not able to handle this many packets at this moment, could you please slow down the sending packets only. Possible? Yes or no? Okay, similarly so now buffer is full. Okay, my capacity of buffer will be 100 packets. Okay, due to that some reason 150 packets are came, 50 packets will be there. Okay, I'm not able to handle this one. That time you should discard some amount, some packets here, important packets also there, medium important packets are there, and the not important packets also there. Or you can say very important, important, and the normal packets. Some discard policy also we introduce in a network layer, that we are going to study that one. Okay, random early detection is there, wine and the milk concepts are there. Okay, all these things now we are going to discuss with respect to the network layers. Okay, transport layer, what we are going to do, we are going to discuss with the next chapter. Just for the concern I am telling friend, here retransmission policy also there, we are having flow control policy, timeout determination. Okay, timeout packets whatever we got now, that packets are going to be identified and we are going to resend that packets. And the third one will be out of order caching capacity policy also. Okay, once the packets are not able to cache at the particular buffer there, no, that time we are going to be discard them, and again we are going to send these packets to the back to the destination. Any doubts, please put in the message box. Okay, then we go to the two important concepts of the concepts in the congestion control. One will be the load shedding and one more will be the jitter control. Okay, in the today's class we are going to discuss about the load shedding only. Okay, what is meant by load shedding? You might be know this one, you might be heard this word also so many times. Due to the load shedding, for 1 hour current you are not able to get. Yes or no? Due to the heavy traffic, okay, 10 minutes or the 10 seconds or 15 seconds you have to wait on the road. Why? Because of more traffic. Yes sir. Like this in network also, when so many packets are flooded, okay, that time there will be the chances that network congestion. Once it is occurred, no, that time we are going to be apply the load shedding. We are going to tell that one, okay, due to load shedding I'm not able to receive your packet there. Okay, means just to go, you just concentrate here friend, note down everyone. Load shedding is a fancy way of saying that when routers are being flooded by the more packets, or you can say full by the inundated means full or the flooded by more packets, that time they cannot be handled, they just throw them away. What they're telling, when the routers are being flooded with the so many packets, that time router is not able to handle. Once it is not able to handle, no, these packets are just thrown away. Okay, throw away packets that cannot be handled, keep in one mind. Load shedding in the sense that the fancy way of telling that when the routers are flooded with the many number of the packets, that time the router is going to be deleted or discards some packets. Okay, this thrown away or discarded packets cannot be handled. Okay, now I said this one already. Once you are not able to handle particular packets, you can discard the packets. Question comes in your mind that which packets you are going to be select, which packets you are going to be drop in the network. Okay, for that reason, friends, we are having the two important things are there. One will be the packet selection. Okay, which packets you are going to be select. One will be the random selection, and second one will be the based on the application. Okay, file transfer and the multimedia. Okay, concentrate here friends. During the file transfer, always we are going to be discard the new packet only, because in a particular file is there, assume like this one, the file size is the 100 MB, we are going to be received one by one, one by one. If you discarded the last packet or the old packet there, okay, the whole file is going to be get corrupt, means it doesn't get the any meaning there. New packet, no, we are going to hold this one from line number 1 to file number 1. Inside the file number 1 to 10 I have received all these 10 packets, sorry, all these 10 files are going to be having some meaning there. Okay, but thing here is that if we received this one, the to discard the new packet, no, it doesn't matter that much in the file transfer, but in multimedia always we are going to discard the old packet only. I have seen this one, discard. I have seen this one, I not required anything, delete, deleted, deleted. New packets always you are going to be, because if the live cricket IPL is going on, you are going to be concentrate the old one or the new one. Old one fast is fast only, no? You are going to be, we require the new packets. Okay, due to this system, based on the application also we are going to be decide this one old packet or the new packets. If you want this one, the application, friends, for this reason they introduced on the very good concept also, wine and the milk concept. Just I will read out here. For the multimedia, new packet is more important than the old one. Okay, for the multimedia always we require the new packets only. The former policy is old is better than new is often called as a wine, and the later is often called as a milk only. Okay, whenever you the old packet is going to be required, no, that concept is going to called as a wine concept. Whenever you require the new packet, no, that will be the multimedia network, no, that time we require the milk concept only. This will be under the. Now second thing, sender indicates the importance of the packet. Yes, okay, during the transmission of the packet there will be the chances of congestion there. If the congestion occurred also, he will tell this one, this is a low priority, this will be the high priority. High priority packets cannot be discarded, low priority can be discarded. This policy also there. Inconvenience, okay, incentive to mark the packet with the low priority price. Okay, high price packets cannot be discarded, very important packets are will be there, this packet cannot be discarded. Low priority packets can be discarded. Okay, when the congestion is occurred, that one. Okay, now allow the host to exceed the agreed upon limits. You know well, right? Host cannot be exceed the this one. Now, as I explained already, we are having the two policies. First one will be the wine, second one will be the milk concept. Here wine concept is old is better than new, old is gold only. Sorry, that is the milk concept. Okay, new is better than old, means that multimedia always require the milk concept. Keep in your mind, friends. Wine concept always require the file transfer only, right? Now after this one, friends, one more important thing will be the random early detection. Okay, the random early detection also, this algorithm, or you can say this one, the this particular algorithm, no friends, in the year of 1993, Floyd and Jacobson introduced this one. Okay, what they introduced, this particular observation, okay, particular idea is to discarding the packet before all buffer space is fully exhausted. What the idea is telling, before the buffer space will be fully exhausted, means that I am having the 100 MB of capacity of the buffer space. Before exhausting full this one, I am going to take the decision. But one is going to take that one. Okay, now India is also going to take this one. Okay, because COVID itself is drastically increasing. Before it spread throughout the India, okay, the government is going to take some action. What it is, lockdown, like that. Means before happening, I'm going to take some decision. Like this, in the year of 1993, Jacobson and the Floyd taken one decision. They introduced one algorithm, that is the random early detection algorithm. What this algorithm is telling, that discard some packets before the full buffer space is going to be exhausted. Okay, for this reason, each router should maintain the average of queue lengths, okay, 100%, and select the random packet. Okay, while selecting random packet, information source we use, okay, to the send one choke packet to the intermediate or the previous router, that I will show that one in the next slide. Okay, to check here, as I said earlier, in the year of 1993, Jacobson and the Floyd introduced a new algorithm, that is the random early detection. This algorithm is telling that before exhausting the buffer space, we are going to be delete some packets there. Okay, which packets we are going to be delete? Randomly we are going to select the packets and delete it. Okay, now the picking packets at the random makes it more likely that faster sender will be see the packet drop 100%. Once you are keeping this one, now the senders are going to be observation. How we are going to be observed? We are going to use some choke packet here. Choke packet is going to be sent to the intermediate previous node here. This packet, this router will send to E here. E is going to be sent to A here. A will be again, means that previous senders is going to be sent now. Immediately that fastest senders are going to be slow down that one. If all will be get slowed down, there will be reduce in that. But only one thing here is that, friends, choke packet again increases the some load, extra load on the network, that one. Okay, due to that reason, the lost packet is thus delivering the same message as a choke packet, but implicitly without router sending any explicit signal. With this packet only we are going to tell that one that to reduce your particular speed. This is all about the random early detection. Okay, while introducing no friend, here two more things are there. Okay, by having the routers drop the packets before the situation has become the hopeless, it means that, let's concentrate here. Okay, in some transport protocols, what happens, okay, including TCP, the response lost packets is for the source to slow down. As I said, source slow down. Then the reasoning behind is that TCP was designed for wired network connection oriented 100%, right? Wired networks are very reliable, so lost packets are mostly due to buffer overcomes only. 100%. We are going to talk about this one, the buffer space only. Due to that reason, we are going to be introduce the random early detection, because networks in connection oriented, only we are going to face the problem of exhausting the buffer space. This is all about the RED. Okay, in the next class what we will do, one more important concept is that jitter control. Okay, jitter control means I will explain this one in a next class. Variation in the packet delay, okay, how the packet delay will be occurs, all these things now we are going to discuss in the next class, right? Yes, any doubts? Please reply. Please. Anyone? Okay. I share this PPT, okay, with you all. Just to read that one and parallel you go through the textbook also. Wherever you'll get any doubts, no, please let me know. Again, we are going to discuss because the fifth practical will be on the this chapter only. Okay, network layer. Okay, the today's everyone established that when the connection with the TCP like this only are going to be execute that one. Okay, only if you cover this one the jitter control and the two more concepts are there, IPv4 and the IPv6 and the link state algorithm. Once you complete this one, no, this chapter will get complete. Okay, directly we are going to move with the SMTP, sorry, application layer protocols. Once we done this one, no, application layer protocols also very important chapter. Okay, that's why we are going to be consider that. Please, if you are having any doubts, we'll give to 2 to 3 minutes. Check. If you are having any doubts, please put in a comment box. Otherwise, you can ask also, no problem. Okay. Note down some important points. Explain load shedding. Explain RAD. Closed and open. What is, sorry, explain open loop and the closed loop congestion control. Last one, briefly explain closed loop congestion control policies. Okay, these things you take and read out these questions and write down as a assignments. The tomorrow's class now will start with the jitter control and the other remaining points like the SMTP, FTP, okay, application layer protocol. Sorry, first we will complete that IPv4 and IPv6, then we'll go for the application layer protocols. Okay, thank you.